Recently, I was able to witness the fights of 3 great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.
What it do? It's your boy, Dragon Ball Art 92. And I'm back with another Kamehameha reaction video. And today we have a good one. So make sure you hit that like button so that way we can trigger YouTube algorithms. So that way we can be seen by a bigger audience. Bruh. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on the great content. Let's go. Give yourself a round of applause, man. Here at Dragon Ball Art, man, we do reaction videos. Dragon Ball everything, reaction videos. So make sure you subscribe if you're a Dragon Ball fan. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can be updated whenever I drop a video. Now that we got all the good stuff out the way, let's get to the content, man.
Straight after you've watched this. Fully voice acted, soundtracked, and with my signature editing up for early access to the incredible 3,100 plus patrons who support my work from just $3 with more and more access at higher tiers. This has long been requested to have the full next video early available to you guys who just can't wait for what happens next on Ultra Vegito, and now it's finally here. Links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy. So our story continues with Super Saiyan 3 Vegito covered in his black lightning, smirking as across from him stands the equally steadfast Final Cabba and Super Saiyan 3 Kefla. While Cabba, staring coldly at Vegito with his crimson red eyes, would then let out, "Kefla, things are about to get real. No more games, okay?" To which the equally concentrated Kefla would just respond, "And who made you boss, Cabba? I'm well aware things are about to get fun now. Just try and keep up."
I ain't gonna lie, Kefla at Super Saiyan 3 would be insane power because of the fact of how the Patoras boost their energy like they do. Make it definitely insane because she kept up with Ultra Instinct at just Super Saiyan 2. Crazy work out here, bro. Crazy work. Let's get back to it.
As one lone lightning bolt from the thunderous sky strikes the ground, instantly, all 3 of the Saiyans vanish, as if on the command of nature itself until Super Saiyan 3 Vegito and Kefla suddenly appear, with Vegito landing a punch on the arm of the Universe 6 Saiyan. Blocked, of course, Vegito comments, slightly impressed, "Not bad, kid. The old you would have got hit by that. I see you've gotten used to this form. It took me a while to master it, you know." To which the smiling Kefla says back chuckling, "You talk down to me like you're my master. Don't get me confused with Cabba. You're just another loser I'm going to beat. Got it? But since you can't stop thinking about your dear old student..."
I mean, she was asking Goku how to transform. So in a sense, he was her teacher. I mean, let's keep it 100. But she do be talking a lot of crap. You know what I mean? She actually make somebody want to fight her. Kefla got that touch. You know what I mean? That touch that you off. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to it.
I'll let him butt in now. And just as Kefla had said, back down near the ground and near motionless, cold as ice, Final Cabba grabs onto one arm with two fingers pointed directly towards Vegito, with Cabba muttering cautiously, "Hold it steady, just like that. This ends here, Master." Immediately following up with Cabba shooting off two pin-shot beams of energy that are so fast not even the panel of the manga can show their end. Cabba! This of course surprising Vegito, who didn't expect Cabba to be playing such a long-distance role. As he stands there face on with the now fast-approaching balls of energy.
So Cabba was trying to pull a granola, basically being a sharpshooter and kind of just like staying in the cuts, but Final Cabba, that form seems like it's going to be pretty dope. Cabba did make it to Super Saiyan 2, so him fighting Ultra Vegito right now is quite interesting because Ultra Vegito is pretty strong from all the fights that he already been in to land on planet Sadala, so this is getting quite interesting, buddy. I wonder who's going to win. Let's see if these blasts actually hit Vegito. Let's go.
Vegito stands firm, unflinching in the eye of what could spell serious damage, commenting instead, "Not going to fight me head on, Cabba? And you call yourself pathetic!" Before shooting off himself in the nick of time to dodge the speeding energy beam. But nonetheless, up or phased by Vegito's movements, Cabba, with perfect precision, fires off two more beams, saying as he does so, "Say what you like, Master, but we've prepared for this moment for years. I'm not going back on the game plan now." Game plan? As Vegito, still with the rabbit beams of energy on his tail, thinks to himself, "These two punks really think some 2-bit strategy is all it will take to bring me down? I'll show you what happens when you try to predict the God Killer." Flying off faster now.
Yeah, in a sense, that was a mistake. That was I would say, a pothole in their plan because they probably would have been able to predict the moves of Goku and Vegeta by themselves, but trying to predict Ultra Vegito's moves is totally different because this is a fused being, so it has the minds of two people in one. So the decisions are not going to quite be the same as far if they were individuals. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like I would say, a mistake that they didn't think about when they was creating their plan. But let's see how it works out for them, though. Let's get back to it.
In a straight line, while the two energy beams slowly but surely get closer and closer, following Vegito's every move as if this time he's seeking. But in a strange sight, as the balls of energy now get so close they appear like mini suns behind Vegito, the God Killer just maintains a cocky smirk as he says under his breath, "That's it. Come to Papa. I'm sure this is going to go exactly to plan, young Cabba." Before instantly, inexplicably, Vegito changes direction in a flash, turning 180 degrees and heading straight for the two beams that might as well be in touching distance now until... surprise! In a shock move, Vegito then uses his time rings to immediately open a time portal in front of himself, almost acting like a pseudo shield. And the beams, just as Vegito most likely planned, go straight through to another time dimension. But even...
That's a perfect defensive move, man. Get that boy Ultra Vegito a round of applause. because honestly, it's genius to use the time portals to deflect blasts that might damage you. You know what I mean? Ultra Vegito's thinking smart in the battle and using everything that he has in his bag in order to win the fight. You know, and that's genius. Let's get back to it.
As they escape, a dastardly smile still appears on Vegito's face, and not because he got rid of the attack, but because he knows where the beams are really headed, saying, "Tell me, Kappa, did your years of planning anticipate this? Maybe you should stop keeping your eyes so stuck on me and check in on your little partner, punk." What? What is that? Leaving Kappa so confused, he immediately pauses his attack, not wanting to fire off more beams off into the strange black hole without knowing where they were going. As he stares into Vegito's confident face as the black hole closes in front of him, he begins to think on Vegito's words. Check in on my partner? What did he mean by that?
Also, the gods did a disjustice to the beings of their universe when they were training them, getting them ready for Ultra Vegito. Because honestly, if the gods been watching and paying attention to what Ultra Vegito been doing from the gate, they will already know his moves, his tactics, or at least somewhat of how he actually fights and wins fights. It would have prepared them for, you know, the use of the time rings being within in the midst of the battle. You know, so I really think that the gods of destruction did their fighters an injustice when they didn't prepare them for this type of moves that Ultra Vegito be doing, bro. He be killing them with these time moves. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm gonna call them. But let's get back to it.
Fla? K-Fla! As meanwhile, while Kappa panics over what is to come next, K-Fla just continues to confidently stand. Vegito, from a point of view, seemingly struggles to avoid their combination acts, commenting, "Is Son Goku really in there? He's struggling way more than I thought he would." While unknowingly, behind the young woman, a small time portal would begin to open, until suddenly, massive behind her, almost dwarfing her existence until... A flurry of high-velocity energy beams, each and every one of the attacks that Kappa sent towards Vegito are shot right out onto the defenseless K-Fla, striking her back all at once. K-Fla! The revelation of what Vegito had planned.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I expected that because that was to be not entirely expected it to hit Kepler, but I expected it to be deflected back to them, you know, in some sense. But if I think it's Final Kappa, if Final Kappa is actually strong enough to put up a fight against Ultra Vegito in honesty, then those attacks are really going to hurt Kepler. You know what I mean? But we go see what happens, man. Because if those attacks didn't do no damage, what was it going to do to Ultra Vegito? We already know. You feel me? Let's get back to it.
Finally hitting Kappa as he calls out in shock, checking in on her. "Oh God, are you okay? K-Fla, say something!" To which, as the cinders and smoke begin to fade off her backside, K-Fla would eventually then say, with a truly disgruntled look, "Shut up! Get him now!" But as Kappa tries to comfort the pain-stricken K-Fla, behind him, the God Killer appears once again, smirking with pride as he mysteriously lets out, "You see, Kappa, that's the problem with fighting in pairs instead of one-on-one. It just means you have two people to keep track of now. And unfortunately, you chose the wrong one to take your eyes off, kid." What? As in an instant, Vegito readies his Godslayer blade and moves his arm back, ready to swipe and seemingly end the life of the young warrior in one swoop. Master! And now panicked, Kaba would turn his head rapidly to meet his fate. Too late! Yeah! But callously, without a care seemingly for his former student, Vegito swipes his blade immediately. But in the nick of time, in his final beast form, Kaba ducks, to the surprise of Vegito, who reacts, Kaba, since
I was gonna say, bruh, if Ultra Vegito just ended Kaba right there, I was gonna say he wasn't ready for that fight, bro. He wasn't ready to put hands on Ultra Vegito if that was the end of it, but he dodged. That lets me know that there's more power to Kaba than what I thought. Let's get back to it, bruh.
When did you... Master, it's been a long time. You should really stop treating me like a... kid! Swiftly turning his body now to boot the Godkiller back with a thunderous kick that sends Vegito flying. But the attack doesn't end there, as in a move that has a shocking resemblance to Vegito's final flash, Kaba outstretches his arms, powering up electrifying balls of energy in each palm, thinking, this one is dedicated to you, Master, as he locks his arms directly onto the now far-off Godkiller and begins yelling, Final Blast! Yelling at high intensity as a ferocious...
We got another move jacker, man. Another move jacker, Kaba. But I understand because Vegeta was his trainer in a sense, or trained him to become a Super Saiyan. Not fully trained him how to fight, so he was one of his trainers. I mean, let's get that right. You feel me? But I mean, for Kaba to grow in power like this, to actually be putting up a fight against Ultra Vegito shows you how much he really trained. Because I mean, in the real series, he wasn't that strong, bruh. You feel me? Because Golden Frieza just took him out like it was nothing in a tournament of power. So I give Kaba props at this moment for putting up a fight and getting this stronger. You know what I mean? So he's not irrelevant anymore. Be ready for them hands. Let's get back to it.
Wave of energy, inspired by Vegeta's own signature attack, blasts forth towards Vegito. What the? Taking even the few Saiyan by surprise, as the power within it goes far beyond anything he'd previously seen from Kaba. And as the beam's true state and size of it becomes apparent, almost rivaling Vegito's size, even from far off, as Vegito thinks, this isn't going to be good! As immediately, facing it head-on with a strenuous grimace on his face, Vegito places both of his palms onto the searingly hot surface of the blast, attempting to hold it back, but when zoomed out, the size of the attack now resembles that of even a spirit bomb, as the ant-like silhouette of Vegito is just forced back, as if never having even tried to stop it in the first place. I need to stop this! Eventually pushing back onto...
Okay, Ultra Vegito struggling right now. Okay, get that boy Kaba his props, man. You got to think about the levels that Ultra Vegito already ascended to. He's ascended to levels that's past angels. So if Kaba is putting up a fight like this and got Ultra Vegito struggling, that boy then got extremely strong. And I'm pretty sure Kefla is on the same level or even stronger. So this is a good fight. This is a really good fight right here. I'm very much enjoying this. I want to give a round of applause to RJ, man, for the chapter, man. though, for real. Let's get back to it.
The ground, giving him at least some sort of support now, with the whole planet seemingly being pushed back by Cabba's attack too. But with one final effort, using what appears like all his strength, while in his Super Saiyan 3 form, Vegito adamantly carries on pushing back, believing even in this form, final Cabba is still nothing to him. As he yells out, "Cabba! You've gotten a little too big for your boots! You think this is anything to me? Who do you think I..." But before Vegito can finish his cocky monologue and apparently push the ball back, it seems final Cabba never even intended to have a back and forth struggle. As instantly, the massive ball of energy detonates, leaving at first a brief silence as the entire area, including Vegito, are lost in a nothing short of blinding white light until, in a mass explosion that is truly humongous, it now does actually resemble when Frieza was struck by the Spirit Bomb, and Vegito alone is caught in the humongous sphere of molten energy that surely would have erased anything within its perimeter. Even far off, the now recovered Kefla would also feel the aftermath of the detonation, racing her off into the distance. But once calmed down, "Hey, Cabba! What's the deal with that attack earlier? Watch where you point those..."
That's definitely in her character. She would pull something like this, bruh. You already know how some of these Saiyan females are. Well, except for Kale. She's real quiet and timid until you piss her. You feel me? Excuse my French. So, let's get back to it.
"Things, you idiot! You nearly killed me!" Comedically, then still carrying on her anger from being hit by Cabba's earlier beams, as if this was the right time of all times. Leaving Cabba awkwardly silent as he whispers, "Sorry," and can only think inside, How is she angry with me over something that wasn't even my fault? But Kefla, not letting things go as you'd expect, continues to berate her fellow Saiyan as she yells, "Sorry? What do you mean, sorry? Are you trying to start a fight? Because oh boy, I've had enough of you in this final form, Cabba." While Cabba just submissively remains under the domineering female, wondering, I can never catch a break with this girl.
You need to go ahead and just, start dating her already. We already know they like each other, bruh. Come on, bruh. They should go ahead and just do it. You feel me? Because she sure already act like his wife. Already nagging at the brother. I already feel bad for the young Saiyan. Let's get back to it.
You guys made up. But where's my apology, kid? Huh? As suddenly, both Cabba and Kefla are left stunned into silence as a more than familiar and authoritative voice calls from afar. No. Ready? Master. This guy just doesn't give up, does he? Leaving both Saiyans paralyzed in fear as they await for the seemingly unkillable God Killer to appear once again.
I know they didn't think that blast was going to stop Vegito. I mean, it did push him back, made him struggle a little bit. Well, it wasn't going to stop him. Not at all, bruh. And I don't even think he was in his final form at this point. But let's get back to it.
Well, hello again. Thanks for that, Kappa. I was looking to get a little tan this summer. But that burning sun you just trapped me in did just the trick. What? Vegito! As shockingly to Kaba, but perhaps unsurprisingly to us, Vegito appears in one piece, his arms folded, his hair darkened to purple and surrounded in flames, as he now enters his ultra ego form. A form presumably neither Kaba nor Kefla had any experience with previously.
Okay, so I was right. He wasn't in his final form. He probably wasn't even close to his final form. He probably was fighting him in his base form. But still, for them to give him a challenge, even in his base form, is a feat of his own. So, I still give him credit, but I knew they wasn't going to beat Ultra Vegito. But I wonder what King Sadala could do, because he sure ain't nowhere to be found right now, and he was actually training with them and Champa and them. So, let's see.
Kaba, in fear and caution, immediately moves himself back to create space. But once he focuses in on Vegito's new appearance, questions begin to arise. That form, what is it? Is he still a Super Saiyan 3? His eyebrows are still gone, but his hair is different. Huh? Are you kidding me? But if Kaba was left short, a hole could be so capable, as she remains even more stunned and shaking uncontrollably as her rage begins to build inside her until she mutters out, What? What is that, Goku? Just when I finally become a Super Saiyan 3, after you never bothered to teach me, now you bring out something even cooler? What is that?
Wait, so she go from you wasn't my master. Hold on. She go from
You not my master. You didn't teach me nothing. Yeah, I did this on my own, Super Saiyan 3.
then she tried to say,
Oh, you got a new form? Why you didn't teach me? You didn't even teach me Super Saiyan 3. How can you do this, Goku?
you can't satisfy nobody. Let's get back to it.
Super Saiyan 4! As behind her, we see the childish but comedic mental image of her now wholly unsatisfied with her current form and wanting exactly what Vegito has, just as she did with Goku back in the Tournament of Power. That's it! I'm not going to be shown up by you boys again! As after an outburst of anger, Kefla quickly ducks her head, grinding her teeth as the planet itself begins to rumble and sparks of electricity spontaneously burst forth into the air surrounding her. In an uncontrolled fit of rage reminiscent of Kale's final form, Kefla roars at the top of her lungs as her pupils disappear and her body noticeably bulks up even further. Instantly then rushing straight to Vegito, screaming as she does so, This battle ends here! I'm the strongest Saiyan in the multiverse, not you! Strongest in the what now? Seriously. What is wrong with this brat? As even Vegito remains puzzled over Kefla's sudden outburst, but also noticeably calm, still even as she reaches touching distance. But despite the confidence, Vegito is no fool and blocks Kefla's powerhouse punch, but with a look of pure strain on his face as he grunts. Now that hurt! Nice one, kid! Yeah! But the punch is so hard, it actually eventually sends Vegito flying backwards towards the ground, despite blocking most of his impact into the itself, leaving Vegito imprinted into.
Problem with that is because that was a nice punch. She did catch him. Problem with that is with that ultra ego, he gonna just get stronger. The hit ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna cause damage. It's just gonna give him fuel for him to get stronger. That's the problem that she having in. Excuse me. That's the problem that she's having in this battle right now. But I want to see if she can pull it off.
But despite this, in his ultra ego form, with one eye open, Vegito continues to smile and laugh. This brat. That kale inside her gives her truly monstrous strength. And looking ridiculous. But not in the slightest bit done yet. Kefla continues her assault, flying in at the God Killer, while Vegito, who now raises his body back against the wall, just watches on, still in a mocking mood, commenting, "Oh, here we go. I thought she'd mastered her emotions. Loses control if pushed to the edge, huh? How very scary." Yeah! Kefla, not allowing any more to be said, slams her fist straight into Vegito's face, impacting the wall hard too, with seemingly Vegito's own skull.
And I know that Vegito let her hit him, and I'm pretty sure he has a plan behind why he did that. But ooh, I know that punch hurt it, bro. She knocked the taste out of his mouth. I guarantee it. That boy ain't gonna be tasting none of Chi rice. Chi, I can't taste the rice. Bit his tongue so hard, he probably bit a piece off like he mankind, falling off the cage, getting hit by the Undertaker with that choke slam. His is up out here. Let's get back to it.
Oh. Almost. Just a little to your left, and you would have actually hurt me a bit, kid. Revealing eventually that despite how it seemed, Kefla had in fact missed Vegito, shattering the wall behind him instead as if it was made of glass. Meanwhile, with his head still tilted, Vegito would look into.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was wrong, but that was savage. Just how he just moved his neck like that. Like, what you think you doing? You can't touch me. Like, oh, bro. Ultra Vegito is a straight savage, bro. And his mentality is insane, bro. It'll have any opponent on their feet because you just never know with this guy. Let's get back to it.
The eyes of Kefla and continue. What's wrong? Are you telling me when you lose your pupils, you actually lose your sight too? I thought it was just to look cool. To which there continued to be enraged Kefla with a grunt, yells, "I'll kill you!" But now readying his own body, and with a more serious tone, Vegito yells back, "Enough of this! I'm done babysitting you brats now!" Yeah! Launching a punch aiming for the ribs of Kefla's body, but the other Fuse Saiyan is quick to dodge out of the way, flipping back and skidding across the floor from Vegito, until finally, with still a rage-filled face, Kefla grumbles, "So, you finally want to start fighting back, do you, old man? Well, bring it on!" As Vegito gets into a strange sprinter's stance, looking directly at his target and coldly saying, "My pleasure, woman." You're underestimating me, Goku!
So is she raging out right now, or does she have full control over what she's doing? I wonder if that boost, that rage boost, is even helping her any at this moment. Because honestly, it don't seem like it. I'm just wondering if it made her stronger, or did it just make her delusional?
Not underestimating you, and I'm not Goku. But sure, whatever floats your boat, lady. As instantly, with the brief trash talk complete, both Vegito and Kefla then rush in at each other, finally ready to clash equally instead of one-sided. Smashing their fists together, creating a planet-quaking impact in the process, with Vegito looking calm, while Kefla can't help but bare her teeth. Looks like our punches are almost equal in strength now. Not bad for a girl. I'm just getting started, old man! As the two stare into each other's eyes and yell out insults. In the air, multiple clashes of fists and kicks would then be seen, moving from end to end all throughout the sky. But as we look closer, only one of the fighters seemed to have the upper hand, and it doesn't seem to be who we expect, as Vegito is pummeled hard and without mercy by the female Saiyan. And as the barrage of beating goes on, watching all the while closely from below is an unsettlingly silent final Cabba. But as his own eyes dart around, watching every move and trade, a concerning thought begins to brew in his mind as he thinks, what's going on here? It looks like Kefla's winning up there. But the way Master's fighting, it's different. It's like he's not even trying. Huh? But soon, a look of shock and horror finds Kappa's profile.
Don't be shocked. Ultra Vegito doing that on purpose. Like I said, in that form, he gets stronger the more damage he takes. Obviously, that's why he's allowing himself to get beat on. Take a sip of the monster and become a monster.
As both his eyes and mouth blast wide open, yelling out in realization, wait a second, his power level, it's increasing by the second, but why? As meanwhile, back in the sky with Vegito, a visibly beaten and bruised Vegito smiles as he wipes off the blood leaking from his mouth, looking on at Kefla, still in high spirits, as he says, oh, I haven't taken a beating like this in a while. Bravo. But when are you going to finish the job and knock me out, huh? Don't annoy me! If you want to go to sleep so bad, then I'll make that happen now! But unfortunately, as Kefla follows through with what was supposed to be a final punch, it is quickly and effortlessly stopped right in its tracks by Vegito's palm. As the God Killer himself, now with a sinister smirk, looks right into Kefla's soul and says, on second thought, I think I might stay up for a while. And would you look at that? Just in time, because it's my turn now.
And in all actuality, what I think Vegito is doing right now, he's basically using the Saiyans as warm-up, as training. I don't think he's really intentionally trying to hurt them at all, because he just wants the gods of destruction and the angels. So I think he's just using this as training to get a little bit stronger so he can take out his real enemies. He's very much a genius. Get that boy a hand clap. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Hakai! And shook shockingly, in a completely unexpected turn of
Did he just Hakai her? What the is going on? He usually do not try to kill the mortals. He actually Hakai her? Hold on, man. Let's finish it, bro. I don't want to jump to conclusions.
events, Vegito stares right into the arm of Kefla and shouts the one word he had previously reserved for the gods. Huh? Hakai? He wouldn't! As even Kefla stands completely shell-shocked that Vegito would even entertain doing this. Ah! What have you done to me? But in the end, as Vegito pulls his palm away, left horrifically in place of Kefla's once full arm, is a dull stomp, disintegrating right before the eyes of the paralyzed still Saiyan, only screaming, You're going to pay for... Shut up already! But halfway through her scream of pain and anger, Vegito, not having any more of it, slams his leg right into the now defenseless left side of Kefla, sending the Fuse Saiyan tragically to the ground with an ungodly smash. Within its
Okay, so he didn't erase her fully, but he erased her arm. And he kicked a handicapped person. Vegito is a savage, bro. With no heart. Why did he do that, man? Bro, seriously, bro. He made her into a handicap, bro. And then he injured her some more. Crazy work out here.
final week, Kefla just remains on the ground, back in base, and now seemingly completely unconscious, not uttering a word, but deep breaths as her body fights to recover. But standing still tall in the sky, looking down on his victim, is of course still Ultra Vegito, slowly levitating to the ground with a smile as he lets out, "Not bad. Gave me a good power up with that beating, and you still haven't defused. Don't worry too much about the missing arm either. I already fought a fused warrior, and know the minute you do separate, he'll be good as new." Referring, of course, to back when he fought Ultra Gogeta, who also lost his arm. But once diffused, both arms were intact with GT Goku and Vegeta. But despite the well-meaning words, down below,
make sure you guys hit the like button, man, so we can trigger that algorithm. You feel me? And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification. Especially if you made it all the way through this long of the video, I appreciate you, man. And, you know, I appreciate the support. Don't forget to do that. And I find it quite interesting, man, that she jumped back down the base and Kaba didn't even jump in at all. It was like he just allowed Vegito to embarrass the young Fuse Saiyan. You know, quite interesting, man. Let's get back to it.
The utterly shock-stricken final Kaba can only stare into the lifeless body of Kefla on the ground, muttering, "You did that too?" As suddenly, the realization that his master was not the man he was and never could go back to what he used to be either after what he'd just done to his two closest allies causes something to snap within the mind and soul of Kaba until Kefla! In a roar of pure intensity and passion.
Don't lie, y'all. He just pulled a Vegeta. My Boma. No, I got to do that correctly. Hold on. I got to do that correctly.
My Boma.
Except for he's screaming, my Kefla. You can't blame the boy, though. You cannot blame the boy. Let's get back to it.
final Cabba screams to the heavens as if his efforts would somehow revive his ally. His entire body now engulfed in a strange white aura, while the red electricity that previously surrounded him now grows infinitely in intensity. His aura so large now it no longer can even fit into view, and blasts off into space like a key beam, disintegrating anything in its path. While all the while, Ultra Vegito stands watching, this time rarely without a smirk, as he watches on silently, knowing how much of a wild card the young Saiyan could potentially be. But also slowly growing tired of this universe power-ups, commenting, Cabba, you think you're so great with your strange little transformation, don't you? You think you're the protagonist here, the one who powers up enraged and stops the villain. But little do you know, I'm the main character. As Vegito, no longer wanting to mess around anymore, powers up instantly to his ultra form. His hair now a mix of white and purple, and covering his body, dark black lightning that puts Cabba's to shame. The massive power-up, of course, though, not going unnoticed by Cabba, who immediately stops and looks at Vegito, trying his best to assess Vegito's new level of power, just saying, so, you finally show your true self. This is the God Killer.
And Kaba better watch out, because now he's dealing with the true strength of Ultra Vegito, and he's definitely not gonna get his boy no opportunities, bruh. Like, he must be tired at this point, especially for him to enter into his final form. He tired of the BS out here. He like, let's really put them hands to use, Cabba. Let's really go out here and put on a boxing match. Ding, ding, ding. Let's get back to it, bruh.
But with the introductions done, Cabba is quick to display his incredible speed and rushes head on, with his left leg swinging back ready to slam into Vegito. All the while, the God Killer remains completely unfazed. Yeah! With the precision expected of Vegito in his ultra form, the kick misses completely. And so too, almost just as easily, Cabba's follow-up punch also lands on thin air, as Vegito easily jumps into the sky to avoid this. Up here, boy! Is this the limit of your so-called final form? Causing the now starting to get annoyed Cabba to pop a vein in his forehead and then immediately rush straight back at the distant Vegito, yelling out as he does so, I'm just getting started! In a flash, catching up to the few Saiyan, he throws out a flurry of kicks and punches. All the while, Vegito seems to keep his arms folded and simply defends with just his feet alone. Stop playing with me! Eventually causing Cabba to view the exchange as pointless and move back to instead power up a powerful ball of energy within the palm of his hand. With all his might, as if throwing a perfect pitch, final Cabba tosses the ball of ki so fast its entire shape distorts. Not only now making Cabba look nothing more than a Yamcha clone, Ultra Vegito.
Yeah, that upgrade in the form really boosts his power up a lot, because he's treating Cabba right now like a child, bro. Like, his hits and his moves is pretty much nothing at this point. And that's what happens when Ultra Vegito gets into that ultra form, man. That's that ultra instinct and that ultra ego together, man. That's a crazy combination, bro. The I say it's pretty much the opposites. There are opposite powers combined into one, creates balance. That's insane, bro. Let's get back to it.
Still with his arms folded, just kicks away the attack like it was a mere football. The sight of this, in the end, leaving Cabba stunned into near silence, as he can't seem to even fathom the sudden difference in power between the two, as he thinks, what's going on? Was he playing with me this whole time? No! Not after all these years of training! Yes, I was, Cabba! As inexplicably as if predicting the exact thoughts of Cabba, Vegito, with a maniacal grin, laughs loudly in response to Cabba's questions until... Huh? In an instant, Vegito appears right behind Cabba, giggling away as he ominously says finally...
Hey, man, Ultra Vegito be trolling the out of people, bro. I gotta call him a master at trolling, bro, because he really does a good job at that, bro. The way he just smiled and said yes. Hold on, I gotta do that right, bro.
Yes. Ha 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 ha.
Hey, I like the way that laugh sound, man. Yeah, let's get back to it.
Don't worry, kid. I'll take you out of this nightmare here and now. For in style, as he did with it, Vegito strikes the back of Cabba's neck with the side of his palm. And again, under the sheer power of it, it seems like Cabba almost loses consciousness, flung down at rapid speed before crashing hard on the ground. But once we see Cabba on the floor, unlike Hit, he seems to be in comparatively much better condition, on his hands and knees grunting and barely able to move, but not incapacitated. A short distance away though, Vegito would then land with a soft thud, and as he walked slowly towards the fallen Saiyan, he would comment himself, "You know what? You handled that attack a lot better than I expected. It was pretty much done after the same move. Maybe you are worthy of being called my student. Get away from him!" But before Vegito can get any closer, suddenly a base Kefla, still missing her arm, appears in front of Cabba to defend him. Somehow, still conscious and still with enough energy to put up a fight. Vegito, seeing this though, is impressed and comments, "You too? So you managed to survive as well. You kids really did get a whole lot stronger. It's a pity. It was for no reason though. Thanks for getting in the way. If anything, this will be faster. You two little lovebirds can go to sleep together." As Vegito, with a truly evil smile, begins powering up a powerful wall of energy of his own, one that in their state they will have no chance of escaping. The two Saiyans, watching on, would just hold their stance, knowing there is nothing they can do now but take the attack and hope to survive. Their final words just uttering each other's names. Cabba, kale, cauliflower. But suddenly, just before Vegito ends their consciousness, the door to the Pyramid of Power slams open. And shockingly, emerging from the pyramid finally are not only Lord Champa,
I noticed a lot of times, bro, beings come in so late, bro. They come in on their own time, bro. I call it time, bro, because they always late, bro. Goku like that too, bro. Instead of time, it might be Saiyan time. You know what I'm saying? They be on Saiyan time, bro. Yeah. Let's get back to it.
And his angel attendant Vados, both looking beat up from training hard, but also in front of them a thoroughly different looking King Sadala, now beardless and covered in scars from endless years of extended battle, each not uttering a word as they stare at the God Killer. Huh? Jumper! Vados! And who the hell is that? Leaving Vegito completely sidelined, as not only the god he came for having finally arrived, but a new, powerful Saiyan-looking foe that he had never anticipated. Father! King Sadala?
Here at Dragon Ball Art 92, we do reaction videos. Dragon Ball everything reaction videos. So if you're a Dragon Ball fan, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that way you can be updated whenever I drop a video. You don't want to miss out on the greatness here at Dragon Ball Art 92. Let's go.
You're finally finished! As both Kefla and Kappa equally react in shock, but more with a tune of relief that finally, their trump card in battle had finally arrived. As the beardless king, meanwhile, doesn't break his gaze from Vegito, and lets out ominously, "So, this is the so-called Saiyan King? How disappointing." But that was it for today's video, guys.
All right. That's the end of the episode, man. That was a good one, man. Like, real talk. I really enjoyed that. They really put up a good fight against Ultra Vegito, man. You got to give them props, man, for being able to get that strong, you feel me, in a short amount of time. And, of course, it's due to the pyramid of power. Power time is totally different from the regular dimension. So, but, yeah, it was a great fight. And I can't wait to see what King Sadala can do, because they were in their trial. Ultraman, you guys, make sure you out there accomplishing your goals, because goals ain't going to accomplish themselves. So get off your and go out there and get it. And always make sure you believe in yourself, because ain't nobody else go do it, man. Dragon Ball Art. Now,
Recently, I was able to witness the fights of 3 great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.